I was a very successful business lady, but I lost everything after marriage. Listen to my story. I met my husband as a single father of one teenage boy. A few years into the marriage, I gave birth to 2 other children. The first few years, we lived like a happy family, but after 5 years, things started to fall apart. First was my stepson. He fell ill for just 2 days and died. I was heartbroken. I mourned him as though he was my biological child. My husband, his father, on the other hand, showed no sign of mourning. Instead, he told me to stop crying and never mention the boy's name in the house ever again, stating that it's the will of God. My business, the business I sacrificed so much to build, collapsed. There is nothing I didn't do to revive it, yet nothing worked. As if that wasn't enough, I became really sick. I moved from one hospital to another with no solution. In fact, they couldn't find what was wrong with me. Even after many tests, there was still no name to the sickness. I was just losing blood and weight. A few months later, my husband lost one of his relatives and we traveled down to the village for his burial. While in the village, I decided to take an evening stroll. As I was walking near this lonely part, I sighted one old man trying to balance this heavy-looking basket on his head. I rushed and helped him to carry it. While I was about to take a step, he stopped me. He looked me straight in the eyes and said, "My daughter, is everything okay? Are you alright?" I said, "Yes, Papa, I'm alright." He asked again, "Are you sure you are okay, my daughter?" I said, "Yes." He shook his head and said, "You are not okay. Have you been sick and went to different hospitals yet they couldn't find anything?" At this point, I freaked out. I mean, how did this old man know about this? This is a man I met for the first time. His words came again. "Answer me, my daughter." I nodded and said yes. He stared at me and said, "My child, why are there dark shadows hovering all over your head?" At this point, I trembled. My feet staggered. He continued, "Your husband knows more than I know. Your life is like this because of him. Listen to me, my daughter. When you get back home, ask your husband what he did to you." I was just confused. Didn't know if I should actually believe him or take it as an old man's talk. Regardless, I showed him my gratitude and left. But what I found out about my husband and what he did to me shocked me, and it will surely shock you. After I left that old man and returned to our house in the village, I couldn't stop thinking about everything that played out. Should I believe this old man and confront my husband? Or could he be a demented old man who mistook me for someone else? All these questions were just running through my mind. After the burial, we went back to the city. One night, I summoned the courage and asked my husband the question. I narrated the whole thing that happened between the old man and I. Then I asked him the question, "What did you do to me?" He looked at me and said, "Honey, how can you pay attention to an old man who is probably suffering from dementia?" Then he brushed it off by changing the topic. After that night, the sickness returned, and this time worse than before. Constant headache, swollen legs, arms, neck, all over my body were just as if they were hitting me with a hammer. I went to the hospital. The doctor said there was nothing wrong with me. When I came back to the house, I started thinking about what the old man told me. A few days later, one of my husband's childhood friends came to visit him. I couldn't even come out to greet him because of the sickness. I was too weak. Some minutes later, I needed to use the restroom. As I managed to stand up to go to the restroom, I started hearing something that sounded like whisper coming from where my husband and his friend were. Obviously, it was them. I tiptoed closer to the door and then I heard it. I overheard my husband's friend telling him that he needs to stop whatever thing he's doing to me, else it's going to kill me. My husband got angry and asked him to leave. After what I heard, my heart skipped. I knew my life was in danger. So after all, what the old man said was right. I pretended to not have heard anything. That night, while he was fast asleep, I managed to steal his friend's number from his phone. The next day, I contacted him and asked him to have a drink with me. He agreed. While we were drinking, I told him that I overheard everything he was discussing with my husband. He shouldn't lie to me and just tell me everything he knows. Things that my husband's friend revealed to me about him will baffle you. He said, "Sister, you are a very good woman and I'm not going to sit down and let something bad happen to you. The earlier you know this, the better for you." My ears were already itching. I said, "Please tell me everything that I needed to know and don't hide anything." He began, "First of all, you are not his first wife." My heart skipped. "What?" "Your husband was married with 3 kids, one of which you met. But he told me that his son I met was born out of wedlock and the mother was never in the picture." My husband's friend laughed and said, Listen very carefully, sister. Your husband belongs to a cult, and what they do is swap people's destinies to live long and maintain their wealth. And that was what he did to his first wife and kids. They all died mysteriously after suffering from unknown sickness. They would take your destiny, render you useless, drain your blood, and leave you to die. He also told me how he has been pleading with my husband to repent and denounce that act. That day, I also learned that my husband approached me because he saw that my destiny is bright. First, my business collapsed. Now, strange sickness. The next would have been to take my life. After that, he would proceed to our children, but God used his friend to save me. His friend advised that I leave the marriage with my kids if I really want to stay alive. When I got back home and at midnight, I already informed my sister, so she came to help me. I just took some important documents and left with my kids. Ever since we left, my husband has been trying to reach us, but I couldn't. I started going to church, and one day, the man of God told me that someone I love so much is after my life. We prayed and fasted, and truly I can see a great change in my life. My sickness is gone, and I was able to start up a business again. Let's all be prayerful and careful. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.